Well, good morning. This is Hero. What we're going to do today, I have these 4 Chinese elms. Looks like 3 of them is definitely a root cutting. This one on the right, I'm not sure till we get there. But anyway, it's early in the morning, not even 7 o'clock. Well, I have to get started early because it's going to get very hot. Today, well, it's only the second week of May, and it's already going to hit 96. That's the official. That means it could be a little bit higher here. Sometime it might even be 100. Well, anyway, that's why I'm getting started early. And basically, these are relatively new. I think these 3 are probably the second year from root cutting. And then, so what we're gonna do is to get these ready for future. I think one thing you notice, it's very, very thick. Well, that's because that's the way it came. This is a root cutting. And all this just shut out last year. So now I have to start to guide it along so that we have a nice bonsai in the near future. This is where the wound was, and what happens is there we get a lot of growth, and what we want to do is to keep it simple so that we have a nice line. So I'll go ahead and cut off some of them, and then this will be side branch, so I'll cut it like this, somewhat like that. Okay, now we want this to get thick so there's a good transition between here and there. So I could just let it go, but what happens is if I go let it go too hard, it interferes with my irrigation. So I'm going to cut it like this and then let it grow. And what I'll do is to just shorten these up and let it grow back. Here's another one. Looking at the base, it's quite large. Of course, this is a root cutting. You see me do a lot of root cutting because it's one of the quickest way we could do things. Okay, so I'm going to make this a side branch. And then this is the main. I'm going to make some movement and taper. And just let it go very vigorously. And then I'll cut it again so it goes that way. That's it for this one. This one is almost straight up. Okay, so side branches, and then see this one right here, it was running parallel, and I'm gonna cut it maybe here and let this grow back. Okay, this is the one I'm not sure whether it was a root cutting, and most likely it was not. It might have been one of those little young shoots that was growing in the ground, so I might have taken it out. But what I did was I put the movement in the trunk. So let me go ahead and prune this out for you, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. It looks like something happened to my mic, so I go ahead and voice this in. You can see that I had used a stick to create the movement. I have also used string to make the branches go a little bit more interestingly. Anyway, that's usually the technique that I use. So this one here is more of a seedling that I did, and you can see that we have all these that are relatively young in the early stage of development. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little short chapter on the Chinese elm development. Usually I do these out in the field, just clip, 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 and don't think too much about it. But I thought maybe you wanted to see some of the steps that I have to go through. So I took this inside my studio and did a recording for you. Okay, so hopefully we'll see you again real soon in another chapter. Take care, everybody. So this has been the 4 Chinese elm in a quick trim.